A former New Orleans teacher is now facing 60 additional felony charges accused of using artificial intelligence to create sexual deepfakes using real photos of students. Tonight, this case is raising serious concerns about how artificial intelligence is being used and whether Louisiana laws are keeping up. WDSU investigative reporter Cassie Sherm looks at how this case is unfolding and why it could have implications across the state and the country. Cassie?
That's right. So this case involving the teacher is fueling debate over at the state capitol on how do we regulate artificial intelligence. Well, now even DC is weighing in.
It's got to create some type of anger with you when you're dealing with these type of pedophiles.
That frustration is now playing out both in the courtroom and at the state capitol as lawmakers debate how to keep up.
That artificial intelligence is growing or faster than the laws can keep up.
According to court documents, Benoit Krensak, a former teacher at Isidore Newman School, is accused of using photos pulled from social media to create explicit images. Investigators say the faces in those images belong to real girls, including New Orleans students.
I don't have any access to the images. I don't know what the situation is at all. I have no discovery from the state, so I don't really know what's going on yet.
Krensak had previously been booked on charges involving child sexual abuse material and video voyeurism. With the new charges, his bond is more than $8 million.
It's no bond at all. You've already started the punishment in complete disregard of the presumption of innocence. So it doesn't make any sense.
Cases like this are now prompting a broader push at the state capitol, where lawmakers have proposed nearly 20 bills this session aimed at regulating artificial intelligence.
That person who's been entrusted with our children should face extreme penalties.
State Representative Brian Fontenot is working on legislation addressing how deepfake cases are handled.
My bill talks about the sharing, giving, disseminating, and/or the willful and intentional possession of these images if someone sent them to you.
And now adding to it,
I think it deserves that an amendment be placed in multitude of these bills that are moving in the Capitol now that involve professional educators creating imagery of their students.
his is being pushed through, but a third of the AI proposals have already been pulled back due to pressure at the White House as they push for a single nationwide approach, raising concerns over federal funding at risk.
I think just the fact that it's so new that they don't want each state to regulate it differently, right? What's good, what's okay in Louisiana may not be okay in Texas. What's not okay in Louisiana might be okay in California. They want to try to have kind of a universal, almost let Congress do a good bit of the work.
As lawmakers weigh those decisions, the Louisiana Senate president says conversations are already happening.
We spoke last week. I sent him a list of bills, both House bills and Senate bills, and asked them to kind of go through and see which ones would fall into that category.
Henry says this case shows him the need is growing.
Hopefully we can get in the preventative stages instead of, the reactive stage.
And there's no time to wait.
The problem is Congress moves at such a painfully slow pace that we really don't have time for them to act.
Now, Krensak will remain here at the Orleans Parish Jail back behind me here, and we are hearing that as they continue to investigate some of that information technology that has been received, there could be more charges along the way. Reporting here in New Orleans, I'm Cassie Sherm. Back to you.
Cassie, thanks. Right now on our WDSU mobile app, we have a closer breakdown of the charges that Krensak is facing.